So everyone's been hyping up the year 2025, and the majority of the sneakers that have been announced is usually by Jordan Brand through leaks, and some of the release dates will change, or maybe even some of the trainers may get cancelled. However, it's Jordan's 40th anniversary, so they're celebrating it with a bang and have a lot of releases coming out, almost to the point of it being too good to be true. I think what we'll probably find out that is, in my opinion anyway, I think a lot of the releases will be limited, because just judging by the amount of sneakers that I've sort of looked at and compiled together in this particular list, it seems to be sort of near enough around sort of 50-55 pairs of sneakers, and they're all kind of pretty much sort of fire. So I do feel like a lot of them will be sort of very limited in numbers because of the fact that it's 40th anniversary, and so they probably won't release a large amount to the public, which is a shame, because I feel like they should have reduced the number of releases and put them in sort of bigger quantities, because most of the people, in my opinion anyway, and I'm maybe being generalizing here, are probably just looking forward to grabbing the OG colorways, and especially for people who remember Michael Jordan playing, and it's been quite a long time now, so I think the younger crowd maybe will be sort of still looking at these pairs of trainers, but the hype is generally for the older people, in my opinion. So the first one up on the list is the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Rookie of the Year, and I'm just a big fan of Jordan 1 Lows in general. I just find them easy to wear and not the most comfortable, probably quite expensive for what they are, but as a sneaker overall, I just like the overall package. And this particular colorway, being another shade of brown, I've got the mochas already, but this one I think is a nice colored brown as well. Rookie of the Year was a high cut originally released a few years back, and this low cut, from seeing some of the reviews out already on YouTube, the materials look really nice on this as well. So I feel like, again, this one will be quite limited, in numbers compared to what we've been seeing in 2024. And for that reason, I think it'll be a cop, but I'm not sure, if I'd pick them up on the resale market. But let's wait and see, because in January there's a few other sort of sneakers that I'm looking at, and I kind of want to try and get sort of 2 or 3, and that's about it. But I think this one, I might sort of hold off on, and even if it goes up and resell, I'll try and pick them up later on. And then the next one up in the 11th of January 2025 is a return of the Air Jordan 3 Black Cat. So it's not completely the same as the original version. I think the laces have been changed in this. It doesn't have the text on the heel tab, but at the end of the day, if you're after an all black Air Jordan 3, which is a comfortable silhouette in itself anyway, then you can't go wrong with a pair of these. Me personally, I'm not too much of a fan of black sneakers, but I'll probably pass on these. I'd rather have one of the other colorways, like that released, before, such as the Craft Ivories, which I sort of moved on. I didn't keep those, but it's still a really nice colorway, just not, I suppose, up there in terms of priority. And then something which is releasing on the 22nd of January, and there seems to be quite a lot of Air Jordan 5s releasing in 2025, mainly because it is the Jordan 5's, I think, 35th anniversary, as far as I remember. So they came out, I think, roughly 1990, so that would make it, 35 years. So, so there are about at least 8 or 9 sneakers, as far as I've heard of, that are coming out. But this one's not bad in terms of its colorway. I'm just not, I just found myself that I wasn't wearing the Jordan 5s in the high cut, and I think, it's probably, a lot of people probably get put off by this, but I'd rather prefer a lower cut version of it. It's still a nice sort of comfortable sneaker on foot. I just don't like the bulky look, and I don't really tend to get on with, I suppose, high, cut trainers. And also on the 23rd of January, you got the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Year of the Snake. And I think for me, I'm probably likely to skip this one. I'd rather have the Rookie of the Years versus this particular pair. I'm not kind of too much of a fan of like those sort of iridescent sort of glows and snake prints. But, I might change my mind on it. But at the moment, it's, probably not going to grab this. For me, it's not a priority. I think there's other Jordan 1 Lows that I'm kind of after. And the same goes for the Air Jordan 11 Low Chinese New Year. And this is another one, it's got iridescent finish to it in terms of the having the, instead of having the patent leather, it's got sort of snake skin, which is also iridescent in terms of its glow. But you know, a cool sneaker, but again, not something that I'm after. I think the, you know, swapping the leather to, you know, instead of having the ballistic mesh is probably a good idea as well. And also on the 8th of February, the Air Jordan 5 Black Metallic Reimagined. These pairs look really nice. Again, it's not something that I'm going to be copying. I know it's an OG colorway, however, as I mentioned earlier, just not a Jordan 5 type person. So yeah, I'll be skipping these as well. And this one is on the 14th of February, as far as I can see. It's the Air Jordan 1 High 85 Bred. And this one at the moment is, you know, it's a classic colorway, it's an OG colorway, and I'm gonna put cop on it for now. However, I might sort of change my mind because I feel like I'm not really wearing the highs as much as I thought I'd be wearing them. So for that reason, I might sort of not actually get these. And the next pair is the Air Jordan 1 High OG Black Toe Reimagined, and this particular pair I probably will cop, mainly because I'm just a big fan of the black toe sneaker and the colorway. So I have the low version, but you know, I don't mind copying the high. However, you know, I would have preferred it to be in the original cut and with the original Wings logo rather than this reimagined version. But you know, the quality of the leather is supposed to be good on these, so yeah, for me, you know, definitely going to try and get a pair. And also on the 22nd of February, you got the Air Jordan 3 Lucky Shorts. This looks like a nice pair, you know, it's a solid pair, quite similar to the Maniere Raised by Women version. No elephant print on there. However, it's a sneaker that I don't need. You know, I've got quite a few Air Jordan 3s in the sort of classic OG colorways, so this one I'll be skipping. And also on the 1st of March, we've got the Air Jordan 12 Flu Game. I'm not even sure like if this is going to come out, in all honesty. There's so much coming out, but again, you know, if I was to get an Air Jordan 12, again, not one to be, you know, wearing Air Jordan 12s, but if I was to get one, then it'd be something like this. And you know, I did have the playoffs, but again, I wasn't wearing them, so I moved them on. And something which is releasing on the 15th of March is the Maniere Jordan 3 Diffuse Blue. It looks like Maniere still sort of going hard at releasing, you know, a lot of different sneakers. And I don't mind that they're doing, I suppose, blue versions. I really did like the Jordan 5, I think it was the Dawn pair or the Dusk pair. And, you know, that particular pair was, you know, really nice in terms of its execution, in my opinion, anyway. And because it cut away some of the sort of bulkiness, you know, that you normally see on the Jordan 5. And I almost sort of pulled the trigger on sort of buying them again because they're, you know, on eBay going for around the sort of $120, you know, $140 mark, which is really low. But you know, just can't really sort of see myself wearing them, in all honesty. I think what I tend to find is with a lot of collab type trainers, I don't really put them on feet, but a lot of the GR stuff, you know, I tend to sort of put on feet because it's one of those things I just don't, you know, just don't want to ruin them, I guess. So yeah, so for me, you know, I kind of probably will skip out on these, but they do look very nice. And also on the 15th of March, we've got the Air Jordan 9 Cool Grey. This is another one, you know, I did have the powder blues for a bit, but again, just wasn't wearing them. And, you know, it's a quite sort of boot-like type trainer. But, you know, the Air Jordan 9 is nice in terms of its comfort, but again, not something for me. But I do, you know, appreciate it. And also on the 22nd of March, we've got the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Obsidian. And, you know, this colourway is nice. It might not be something that I might grab, you know, straight away because of the fact that I'll have the Jordan 1 Low in powder blue. And this is a very similar colourway with the front of the sneaker. Instead of having black, it's got this really dark navy colourway. And, you know, I also recently bought the Jordan 1 Howards as well. So I might sort of skip these and, you know, unless I can pick them up for, you know, reasonable price on sale or something like that. But I don't know if they will go on sale because they're quite a popular colourway. And for that reason, it's a cop, but probably on sale if I can grab them on sale. But if not, then, you know, I'm just happy to sort of miss out on them for now. And also on the 12th of April, we've got the Air Jordan 3 OG Rare Air. It might be sort of quite widely available. The dates are sort of being pushed around quite a bit. At the moment, it's saying 12th of April. A nice sneaker, you know, it's quite sort of solid sneaker, but for me, it's, you know, not a must-have again. You know, I think the colourway on this is quite sort of similar to the black cement, which I already have, so I'm probably gonna, you know, sort of miss out on these as well and not cop them, just purely because I have the black cement, and that's kind of more than enough for me. And also on the 19th of April, we've got the Air Jordan 5 OG Grape, and this colourway is, you know, really, really nice. And again, a nice sort of simple plain sneaker. If I was to grab a pair, it would either be between this or maybe the fire red pair, but this one is cool, but again, not a priority for me. And also on the 23rd of April, got the Air Jordan 3 sale, and this is again a simple colorway. It looks very similar to the Maniere pair again, and overall a straightforward sneaker. But I don't know, if it's not a must-have for me. But again, just a simple Air Jordan 3, really, not much else to say. And this particular pair, I'm going to wait and see, is the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Phantom, and at the moment it's supposed to have the big swoosh on there, and they also look similar to the Barron's colorway that released in 2024. So it's a kind of maybe cop, but I'm definitely gonna try and grab these. But again, I'll see if I can grab them on sale. Depends on what the numbers are really, but still a very nice looking sneaker with the Chicago color blocking. And also on the 26th of April, got the Air Jordan 11 Low Bred. This is a sneaker that is look really nice, and I think if I was to grab a pair of Jordan 11s, it would be this particular colorway, because I think it works well and doesn't get too dirty, and it's a classic colorway as well, being just black and red and the white midsole. But overall, again, I don't really wear Jordan 11s that much, so I'll probably skip out on these. But it's a nice pair. But like I said, if I was to grab a pair of Jordan 11s, it would be this pair. And personally, I'm not a fan of these. I'm a fan of like the Jordan 14 silhouette in general, but the Ferrari is not something for me. I just can't ever sort of see myself wearing this sort of red all over sneaker really. If I was to wear something with like a monotone color blocking, it would probably be in the blue. But overall, it's an okay sneaker in my opinion. Not anything like amazing. And also in April, we've got the Air Jordan 1 High OG Rare Air Cinnabar. I'm not sure the sort of storytelling behind this one, but I think it's got the Nike Air on the wings logo instead of Air Jordan, as far as I know. But again, it's one of those sort of colorways that hasn't really sort of spoke to me, in all honesty. It just feels a bit sort of simple and plain, and I've got plenty of sort of Air Jordan highs that are kind of similar to this type of color blocking, like the neutral greys. And also in April, we've got the Air Jordan 1 High OG Rare Air Deep Royal Blue. Again, this one's one of those ones where I'd probably have to wait for the storytelling, but I've seen some early reviews for this one as well, and it's got like a light grey toe box. Just not really too much of a fan of this colorway. I think if I was to go for a pair like this, it would probably be the Jordan 1 High Midnight Navy. But as I mentioned earlier, I'm not really wearing highs that much, so so I'll probably skip out on this. And also in May, we've got the Air Jordan 4 Aluminium. I think this one is a nice colorway. I think overall it's a simple silhouette, quite similar to the oxidized green that released in 2024 actually. But overall just a clean silhouette, not something that I'd particularly grab. It has to be a nicer colorway than what this is, but still very good. And also in May, something that I potentially will grab is the Air Jordan 1 High OG UNC Reimagined, and I think for me it just depends on how much cracked leather is being used, because I feel like on the Lost and Found the cracked leather is quite a lot on there, and I'm not too much of a fan of cracked leather in general, so I think I'll probably wait and see. But I do really like this particular colorway, and I've never had a pair of UNCs, so this one will probably be a cop for now, but I might change my mind closer to the time depending on what the treatment is in terms of it being reimagined. And also in May, we've got the Maniere or Air Jordan 5 Violet Ore, and this one comes off the back of the the Dusk and Dawn pair that released in late 2023, and again a nice pair. I do like the Maniere version of these, and I wish some of the OG cuts had this sort of treatment to it as well, where it has almost like a more of a slimmer profile. But that's me personally. But the Maniere touch is really nice on this particular Jordan 5. So if you're a Jordan 5 fan, then I'll definitely look to grab the Maniere versions. And also in May 2025, we've got the Air Jordan 12 Melo. I think this one is another clean colorway, quite sort of simple. But again, I'm not a Jordan 12 type person, but I don't mind the colorway, and I think it's quite sort of simple and straightforward. And also in May, we've got the Air Jordan 4 OG White Cement. This is definitely a cop for me. So I'll be definitely after these. This is probably like straight away. Again, I think depending on how limited they are, they might go on the sort of resale market, but it's one of those classic, iconic colorways that maybe even look to sort of double up on. And also in June, we've got the undefeated Air Jordan 4. This one, I'm not so sure, again, how limited it will be. From what I hear, there might be two different versions. So one with the Nike Air on the heel tab and one with the Jordan brand heel tab. It could be that it's a mixture of both. And it's got those removable patches apparently as well on the tongue. And overall, I do like the colourway just being an all over green. So, I would definitely be after these, but I don't know if I'd pay the resale price, which is likely to be really high. So let's wait and see. And another one which I feel like might end up bricking actually is the Air Jordan 1 High OG shattered backboard. I'm a big fan of the black toe colour blocking, so I have quite a few pairs such as the Taxis and the Lucky Greens as well as the UNC toes. So this one, I'm going to try and grab, and it's definitely a cop for me. And also in July, we've got the Air Jordan 10 OG steel. This is an original colourway, and they do look nice. And the Jordan 10 is very comfortable on foot. I did have a used pair that I bought quite sort of recently to sort of try out and do sort of, I suppose, a feature on. And overall a cool sneaker, but not, again, a must-have for me. It's not something that I'd be wearing. And if I was to cop any Air Jordan 5 in 2025, it will be this fire red black tongue version. It's just a iconic, very cool silhouette. I had the original fire reds that released a few years back, but I moved them on because I wasn't wearing them. And this particular one is probably the one to get, I think, out of all of them, because it has a 23 on the side, and just sort of synonymous with Michael Jordan. And in July, we've also got the Air Jordan 8 Aqua. I think these are, also looking nice. And again, another one of those classic OG Jordan 8 colorways. And also in August, got the Air Jordan 3 Pure Money. This one I'm undecided on, but probably not going to grab because there's so many other sneakers to get. So, but this particular one does look very nice as well. And I could easily, if it was any other year, I could easily sort of be grabbing a pair of these. But again, I'll probably skip out on this one. And also on the 16th of August, we've got another pair, is the Air Jordan 12 French Blue. Again, another nice colorway, another sort of simple Jordan 12, and definitely wouldn't be mad if anyone was going to grab a pair of these. And also in August, what's been rumoured is the Awake New York Air Jordan 5, and it's in the Arctic Pink colorway. There's also another colorway which I think I have later on, but again, this is a one of those sneakers that I'd like to see it once it's sort of near the date. But at the moment, not feeling them being in this sort of pink colorway. However, judging from the Airship collab that they did, I was a big fan of those, so I have high expectations. I'd be happier again if it was a low cut, but probably one of the few people who probably want that. But yeah, let's wait and see what this sneaker's about. And something which I will go after, obviously for retail, is the Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1 Low OG. Apparently this might be the last Travis Scott sneaker, Jordan 1 Low sneaker to come out, and will kind of complete the 10 pack that he's released. This is what I've heard, and so for that reason, it's going to be really high on the resale market. But it's a definite cop if I can grab a pair, because I'm just a fan of white and blue colourways. And also in September, we've got the Air Jordan 4 Cavestone. This colourway, when it was originally announced, I was just a big fan of it. I kind of like this sort of darker colourway, especially on the Jordan 4. I think it works well. So yeah, I'll definitely be up for these, and it's a definite cop for me for this one. And in September, we've also got the Air Jordan 1 High OG Baroque Brown. Another nice colourway, a spin on the storm blue colour blocking, similar to the other pairs that have been released over the years, such as the Artisanal Red or the Praline, and quite close to the Praline actually. Usually I find with the storm blue colour blocking, the leather quality seems to be a lot nicer versus other GR Jordan 1 highs that have been released. And I think this one is a potential maybe for me, but yeah, just depends how I feel at that time. But again, there's so many other sneakers coming out that it's going to sort of pass by, in my opinion. And also in September, we've got the Awake New York Air Jordan 5 Black Racer Blue. This one, again, looks really nice, and I'm expecting big things from Awake New York as well. So another one to sort of let's wait and see. And the Air Jordan 1 Storm Blue is returning in its low cut. And this one is a definite cop for me. It's one of those sneakers that is iconic, an OG colorway, and it's got like a big swoosh on it. So this is, a pair that I definitely want to have. So we'll definitely be going after these. And then the next one, which I think a lot of people are happy about, is the Air Jordan 11 Gamma returning in December 2025. But for me, I'm like I've said earlier, I'm not too much of a Jordan 11 fan, but I do like them. I think this is one of the nicer colorways to come out, I suppose, especially considering the last few years what we've seen. I think this is a still good, nice colorway, and I think the Jordan 11 lends itself well to being more of a sort of black colorway sneaker. And also in spring 2025, we've got the Ryu Hachimura Air Jordan 1 Low OG Cranes, it's called. Again, a really nice looking sneaker, but it's not something that I'd particularly put on feet, in all honesty, just because of the flowers. It's just not doing it for me, but I like the attention to detail overall. It does look cool. And also in summer, we've got the Travis Scott Jordan Jumpman Jack, or the T-Rex, in bright cactus. And this one, I'm not mad at. I think, again, if I can hit on for retail, which I haven't done yet for any T-Rex trainers, but if I can get for retail, then I'll be happy. But other than that, I'm not looking to pay resale unless resale's more nearer to retail. And also in summer 2025, we've got the Union LA or Air Jordan Chicago's, and this is also in the shadow colorway, so it's two different versions. I think for me, I'll definitely be after these, just because of the Union touch. It's similar to the other Unions that I've released, and I think everyone's going to be after these, and it's a definite cop. Obviously I will be going for retail, but I think it'll be difficult to pick up, and will be one of those ones where I feel like, again, it's going to be quite high in the resale market and probably quite limited in numbers. And next up, we've got the Air Jordan 1 High 85 Reverse Shadow. I think this one, is, again, another solid colorway, and a lot of people will probably be after this, but I'm probably going to skip out on this one. But I do, don't mind the colorway, and quite sort of similar to the Marina Blue pair that I've got as well. And in summer 2025, this has got another one of those trainers that's got early reviews, and you can check them out on YouTube. It's the Air Jordan 4 Rare Air. This one, again, it's a solid kind of colorway. Not something that I'm going to be grabbing, but I can understand why people would be after these. And there's probably some sort of storytelling around, why this is releasing and what it sort of signifies, to Michael Jordan, I imagine. And it's part of the Rare Air series, so there's 4 or 5 sneakers that are releasing. I'm sure they've got some sort of story behind them. And for summer 2025, we've got the Nike SB Air Jordan 4 Navy. This one's a definite cop for me. I think I've got the pine green version, which I hit on for retail, and I went half size up, and with the particular SB Jordan 4, I feel like you can probably go true to size in these and be okay, and that's what I'll be looking to do. But I think this particular one, I'd probably happy to grab it on resale actually as well. And same goes for the Varsity Red colorway. Just both of them look very, very nice, and again, I've got the pine green version. I'm a big fan of those, and overall they fit really nice, and I just like the simple colorway on there as well. Again, definitely a cop. And another one of those Maniere trainers, we've got the Maniere Air Jordan 5 Diffuse Blue. I think if it's got this sort of light clear blue on the netting and then on the outsole, I'm a big fan of the original one, in all honesty, the Dusk or the Dawn pair. So for me, this is nice, but I think the original ones look nicer, in my opinion, with that sort of photon dust colorway. And also in fall 2025 is the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 1 Low OG Nitro. This is an original high version that released for friends and family, and looks like it'll be released to the wider public. I'm sure it's going to be quite sort of limited, maybe has some sort of wear and tear on the upper as well. And for me, yeah, definitely a cop. I'm not even a fan of like black sneakers, but I think this one, looks really nice in my opinion. So this one's definitely a grabber for me. And also in 2025, at some point, it's going to drop is the Air Jordan 4 Black Cat. This one, being an all-over black sneaker, is really nice, but I probably won't grab a pair for myself, in all honesty, because I have like the Bred Reimagined. That's kind of enough for me. So I'll probably sort of skip out on these as well. And also in 2025, we might have the Air Jordan 8 Bugs Bunny. This is another one of those classic OG colorways, and I actually, if I was to grab a pair of Air Jordan 8, it would be these, and for that reason it's a cop. But I'm going to see near the time. I do like this particular Jordan 8. I do like the way they look and the way they feel on foot as well. Something that I grab. And also in 2025, we're going to have the Air Jordan 10 Shadow. This is another one, which is a really nice colorway. And I think if I was to grab any particular Jordan 10, this is quite high up on the list in my opinion. But, very solid. And, I think it'll be limited in numbers. And also, something that was recently announced is in holiday 2025 is the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Chicago. And again, this is another one of those that's a cop for me, a classic colorway. Hopefully it's done simply and, using their sort of big swoosh as well. And I think, I'd be looking to grab these and, selling on my lost and found pair just to get the low version in all honesty. And something which is releasing holiday 2025 as well is the Air Jordan 11 Rare Air. I'm personally just not a fan of these. I think they just look a bit ugly. And usually I'm a fan of sort of blue colorways, but this one, I just don't know. There's something about it that's not doing it for me. But I'd like to again see the storytelling behind it. I feel like it might be one of those ones that was originally supposed to be an OG colorway but got cancelled or something like that, and that's why it's called the Rare Air. But let's wait and see. And also in 2025, it doesn't stop. We've got the Air Jordan 12 Taxi. This seems to be sort of the last one, and again, another one that people have been asking for. I imagine this one will be like a massive GR because a lot of people have been after these and, want to sort of grab a pair of these. And, it's, again, a nice colorway. This in the playoffs, fairly sort of simple, but both sort of iconic, and I wouldn't be mad at, sort of either pair. Not something that I'm going to grab personally, but if I did, this taxi is, one to sort of get, really.